What's up, G Fusion fans? This is Philip, and welcome back to another video. So today I would like to make another discussion video on Kamen Rider Saber, and this thought has been in my mind for quite some time recently, and I've been playing with the idea. You know, what if Touma actually became Kamen Rider Calibur? So for a bit of context, and probably I should put some spoilers ahead, particularly for those who haven't even seen Kamen Rider Saber. And if you haven't, please do watch it. So, what if, again, Kamen Rider or Toma became Kamen Rider Calibur? So, it happened in about episode 12, I believe. So just before he died, Daichi Kamijo wanted to pass on the Ankokuken Kurayami to Toma, and Toma could have become Kamen Rider Calibur. But unfortunately, uh, Daichi passed away, and Ankokuken Kurayami vanished in smoke. And it was revealed later on that Teika Shinda, using her powers as Kamen Rider Sabala, would actually take the sword and deliver it to Master Logos. So after that, uh, after some time, uh, out of action, Kuremi returned, and this time in the hands of some of a revived Kento Fukamiya. But we'll talk about him in a second as well. So yeah, with those kinds of developments, we never know. We never knew. We never would have known what could have happened if Toma actually received Koreami and then became Caliber instead of Saber. So yeah, this idea I thought would be fun to play with. So anyways, let's talk about it in this video. So yeah, if we look at the previous wielders of Kurami, or guess we could include Kento as well. So if we consider what happened to them, so would it have happened? Would the same thing have happened to Toma? So let's get into context here. So for anyone who has touched the Ankokuken Kurayami, they would receive visions of the future, although not particularly a favorable one. So, the wielders of Kurayami, aka those who transform into Kamen Rider Calibur, saw that the world was going to end. Now, this kind of started with Hayato Fukamiya. Now, uh, Hayato had been Caliber for some time, but it was only before the events of the Sword of Logos saga that he was able to see those visions of the future. So uh, apparently, it was only recent for him. And after he died, so Daichi Kamijo took the sword and started seeing those visions as well. Now, I believe this, could have happened because the threat, or, the danger that could end the world is quite near. So uh, it would give them visions of impending doom, given that the threat is also impending as well. Like, uh, you know, it's knocking at their door. It was knocking at their doorsteps during that time. So of course, upon seeing the dark future that could possibly happen, they suddenly turned to despair and did uh, villainous things. So they were perceived as villains. So, yeah, even Kento, when he came into possession of Kurami, he kind of became an anti-hero. Uh, so yeah, basically they were trying to save the world, if we look at their objectives in general, they were trying to save the world, but ended up doing underhanded things just to get to the bottom of the situation and try to solve it by themselves typically, or that's how it was going for the most part. So yeah, if Toma became Kamen Rider Calibur, would the same thing have happened? I would say no, or even if it did, it probably would not have lasted for so long. So, considering that Toma, when he used the primitive dragon, he kind of went berserk. Yes, he was attacking, everyone, whether it was friend or foe. He didn't not discriminate, but it was basically just a side effect of the elemental, or sorry, the primitive dragon that was driving him kind of insane. But he did not have to suffer for long when he eventually came into possession, or when he actually almost immediately came into possession of the elemental dragon. So I guess even, let's say, even if he did experience these moments of self-doubt, or you know even if he would come close to despair, he probably would have gotten over it much sooner or much easier. I guess we could chalk it up to Toma being the main protagonist, because he is the main hero of the story. He's not going to be susceptible to becoming evil, or even if he did, it's not going to last for long. Definitely much shorter than uh, Kento or Daichi, perhaps. So that's how I see it. And I guess it also kind of connects to Toma's personality. So, we know Toma is very much into the idea of changing destiny, being, the one that who can write the ending of the story is yourself, or, something like that. And he also firmly believes in bonds of people. Uh, we'll get into that the aspect in a bit, but yeah, Toma is generally a good guy, and he's very much cheerful around people. So I guess everyone else had been cheerful before they held Kurayami, but Toma again is a firm believer of destiny. So actually, if we compare him to Kento, this was actually the main reason for their clashes, especially after Kento's return and he became Kamen Rider Calibur. So they have crossed swords more than once because of their differing beliefs, uh, despite having the same goal, which is to save the world. So Kento, as Kamen Rider Calibur, he believed that the world was going to end, and the only way to stop it is to uh, seal all the other sacred swords so they wouldn't be used for evil. So the way he did it was kind of extreme. He could have just asked everyone for help, and things would have been much easier. But instead, he chose to antagonize everyone around him, even Toma, of course. So Toma wasn't really, uh, you know, much like Kento, because Kento just kind of gave up and like he just accepted what was going to happen. But Toma wanted to change the future to make it much more favorable for everyone. So that was basically their main reason for fighting each other, at least at that point. So I did mention earlier that the Toma also believes in the bonds of people. So Kento, as I've also mentioned, rejected everyone around him. He basically made everyone his enemy. So he was not only fighting against the Megiddo, he was not only fighting against the Sword of Logos, or at least the Sword of Logos that sided with Master Logos, and then Touma and his group, or Team Touma, as we could call it. So, yeah, but if Touma had seen those visions of the future, he probably would have asked everyone for help, or at least he would have worked with the rest of his team, to solve this issue. And yeah, so I think that's more into the personal aspect, but there could be another reason, or there could be another way for Toma to actually take control of Kurayami and not be affected by its visions. So Yuri mentions some time ago that Toma was meant to become powerful. So this could be evidenced by the time when Thomas suddenly just started seeing uh, the patterns in Kamen Rider Jirandal's attacks. So even though he was able to teleport or manipulate time, whatever the ability of Kaiji is, so Toma was able to predict where uh, Durandal would appear next, and then he was able to uh, create an effective counter attack. So this is a sign of the growing power within Toma, and I guess this power would eventually lead to the creation of the Haoken Cross Saber. So I guess that power could have helped Toma, take control of Ankokuken Kurayami and not be affected by it. So I guess that's how it could have gone. But considering that the title of the show is Kamen Rider Saber and Toma is indeed the main protagonist or the main character, we could say that he would have probably used Calibur for some time, but would, very soon would have gone back to becoming Saber anyway. So that's what I see, if it did actually happen in the show. But again, it for me it was definitely an interesting thought. So anyways, that's going to be for this video. So what do you guys think about Toma becoming Kamen Rider Calibur? Was it interesting, or do you think Toma should never be Kamen Rider Calibur, or anything else? Uh, just let me know down in the comments. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching. And as always, if you enjoyed, please do leave a like, comment, share this video, subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell so you get the latest from JE Fusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!